truths and rumors that don't get reported. Stories I write that are often distorted. Got my notebook and pen, and I'm ready to listen. Tell me the truth, I'll consider your position. I've seen killers with eyes so cold and dead, and others go to prison because of what someone said, rotting away for the rest of their lives, leaving a hole here on the outside. Things are sad here on Earth, and it's no wonder why, when you consider the sociopaths who remain in charge. It's me who sees the system for all its flaws, and I usually start with the probable cause. My right hand is reading the probable cause. Welcome to The Probable Cause. This is a podcast covering the criminal justice system in Allen County, Indiana, northeastern Indiana, and the state. They're all connected. I'm Jamie Duffy, your host and a locally based journalist. To my left over there is my co-host, Michael McAlexander. He is the Allen County Prosecutor. As always, or nearly always, we have my right hand with us today. She's one of my great sources and really knows how to navigate the legal system here. Unfortunately, it's because her son died 9 years ago, and when she learned the ropes, then she taught them to others. Now, as you can see, we have a very special guest here. He is Fort Wayne's new police chief, Paul J., or as he's known on the streets, PJ Smith. Everyone calls him PJ, but now we're going to be calling him Chief.
Call me Chief.
He was sworn in last week by Fort Wayne's Mayor Sharon Tucker, and we will be getting to know him very well today. But first, as always, the courts. Mike, what have we got this week in the courts?
We've got a robbery case going on right now. I don't know. I think they were going to do closings right about now. Mm-hmm. We had a murder case, but there was a last-minute request for continuance, so it got bumped.
Well, I mean, when I checked last week, there were 3 murder trials.
Right.
Okay, so one of them was Quenisha Gaylor. She did take a plea deal. This was the one with Shan Ford. Somebody went to her beauty salon on Lafayette Street. They threw a computer tower through one of her windows. That made her super mad. So she went over with another woman, and she took a computer tower, and she threw it into that individual's home. There was a shootout, and her boyfriend was on trial. It was just like a few weeks ago, but he was not convicted of murder, not convicted of felony murder or attempted burglary. I think he's facing the murder charge once again in May. But anyway, so she took a plea deal because she never shot a gun, you know. So she was charged with some heavy duty stuff, and I personally am glad that she's getting charged, but with a lesser charge.
And last week we had 2 murder cases go. One of them was guilty, I think, on all counts. The other one had a hung jury on the firearm enhancement and not guilty on murder, but guilty on felony murder and robbery.
No kidding. So the one that I did cover last week, and I really want to encourage everybody to go to www.theprobablecause.com or the Facebook page, and you can find my articles. I covered the trial for Sean Williams, 48-year-old man. He was convicted of murder acting in concert in the death of Philip Reinhart, 39. It's something else that we're sitting here talking about this one today because the killing did happen at 1621 Wells Street, right next to El Rinconcito. You know that area well, Chief?
Yeah.
And it was 2 men showed up. They were caught on camera. They were caught on camera later wearing the same clothes. One of them did shoot 4 times. He will be up for his trial at the end of February, but he was convicted, Sean Williams. I'm not kidding you, in 39 minutes. That's the fastest one I ever saw. I mean, the jury didn't even get a chance to eat lunch. I hope they got lunch afterwards because they worked hard, you know. What really came out of that trial to me, I was talking to the chief just before we went on, was the drug subculture, because the lifestyle of these people addicted to these drugs, it's like, where is the joy? Where is the purpose? It seemed to me there were several people who were in and out of that apartment crashing. In closings, Chief Deputy Tom Shaley said his killing was that of a rival drug dealer being rubbed out. He had locks up and down his door, but unfortunately he opened up at 6 p.m. on Christmas night 2024, and he was fatally shot by, allegedly, another man named Mr. Kinney, who I said is going to be facing a trial. Then right after he was shot, people were going in and out. It seemed like they were looting. Shaley referred to those people as vultures. One individual was seen rolling a suitcase out the door. It was all caught on camera. It was pointed out that no one calls the police when these crimes do occur because they're doing something illegal. They're all involved in this illegal activity tied to drugs. So it begs the question, if these drugs were legal, would we have these sordid situations, which I'm sure the prosecutor, are we getting an eye roll over there?
Yes.
A major one. But anyway, Chief, the subculture,
Yeah.
Wall Street,
Yeah.
it's just, I mean, one little girl who went in and called the cops a half hour. I mean, after all these people were taking things in and out of the apartment, she said, I'm going to get in trouble. I know I'm going to get in trouble. Well, then less than 2 weeks later, she was dead of an overdose. And I say that in quotes because law enforcement was calling it a suspicious overdose. So there was a lot. And like I said, you can find the coverage on the Probable Cause Facebook page, if nothing else. So, anyway, now on to our new chief. You joined the force in 1983. You've been a sergeant, a captain, and a deputy chief.
Mm-hmm.
Did you always want to be a police officer? And was that a family profession?
Was not a family profession. So my mom was the chief secretary
Oh.
back in the very early 70s. And so, I got to come up in the chief's office and stuff, which was kind of cool.
It's so neat that you're the chief now. Got to say that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But so when I was like 14, there was a CEDAT program, and my mom, kind of helped me get into that.
Do we want to say what the CETA program is?
It was some kind of thing just to hire youth, for summer jobs.
Right, okay.
So anyway, it was a city, I think it was a city program. So anyway, I get this job working over at the police garage, which was on Berry Street, right next to the old city building, right? It's still, the city building's still there, the old police station, right there at Berry and Bar. But the police garage sat in that parking lot right next to the police station.
Right.
But by then, they had moved down to the city county building. But the police cars were still worked on there. And the people who worked on them, it was a combination of civilian, mechanics, and police officers.
Which seems weird because they were taking people off the road to work on police cars.
Yeah, I mean, the guys that were, the police officers that were working on the cars, I mean, I think they were mechanics maybe before, and they were, or learned it while they were in the Army or something.
Oh, okay.
So they were just really good at it. So it was probably like a wash, with money-wise. So.
Well, and the city wasn't as dangerous back then.
No, and you got to remember back then, police officers didn't really make a whole lot. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't really know how the pay went. I was 14 years old. All I knew is that I remember the first day I worked there, this guy comes rolling in like an unmarked car. I think he had a Doberman Pinscher.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, it was Marty Bender's dad.
Oh.
Who was the assistant chief.
Oh. The legacy.
And he says something to me like, boy, get the lead out your ass and get over here and wash this car.
Was this a joke or did he mean it?
No, I mean, he was very gruff and big dude, and I was scared. I was scared basically of him. I didn't know. So I get over there and I wash the car.
This is your first day?
Yeah, like first or second day there.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, I get over there and I sweep out the car and I wash it and everything, and this guy buys me like a pop, and then he'd come in, and every time he came in, he'd give me $1. I started liking to see the guy.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah. He was
Popping a buck. I mean,
he was awesome. Yeah.
what year are we talking about?
75.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
$1 tip? That's pretty generous.
When you were hitting the discos. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, so I was 14 years old, and those cops, I just loved hearing their stories, and I mean, probably stuff a 14-year-old shouldn't hear, but I loved it. And right then I'm just like, this is what I want to do. And so, like, fast forward, you know, till 1983, when I'm 21, I put my application in, I get in, and I go to the police academy. Yeah.
Did you, when you were 21, did you have to wait till you were 21 to become a police officer?
Yeah, right.
So were you doing extra training? Did you go to college and all of
So
that?
I went to school, and I worked at Rogers grocery store.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved it. I loved working at Rogers. Those were some fun times. I started there when I was 16, and the reason I got hired there is because I could play ball. And so all the stores had their basketball teams. And it was a big deal for the manager to have a winning basketball team, because then you got FaceTime with Harry Rogers, who'd take you out to dinner, and the whole team and everything, and it was a big deal. So, and I actually got a picture of me in a Rogers uniform.
Oh, we got to have that.
If you want to see it.
Yeah, we've got to have
You want to see it?
Definitely. We'll be dropping that in for everybody to see.
So, yeah, so I thought you'd get a kick out of this one.
What high school did you go to?
I went to Lures.
Did they not have a, oh my gosh. All right, everybody, that is super.
I love the hair.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, we'll get it
We'll
back.
get to you.
So did Lures have a basketball team?
They did. I'm going to tell you a story about that. So,
I mean, Indiana.
so I played ball, but when I was going through high school, I was going through this gangly stage, and I was very uncoordinated.
Mm-hmm. I can imagine.
And I got
6'7".
The coach called me in and said, hey, this is sophomore year. I played my freshman year. We got to let you go.
Aww.
Yeah. But I'm like, oh, that's cool. Because I was also starting to work on cars, get into cars, so they gave me more time to do that.
But that must have been kind of a blow. But anyway, you played.
It hurt my feelings for about an hour.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're a tough dude.
Yeah.
So you played for Rogers.
Yeah, I came out of it, and I got where I could play a pretty decent ball.
And they didn't draft you back in for the Lures?
I actually played on the police team too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And can I guess what position you played?
I played center or forward.
There you go.
Yeah. But back then it was just, it wasn't like it was
fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
I mean, it's supposed to be fun. I mean,
Right.
Grown into an industry, but it was supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, any more stories about that wonderful police garage and your inspiration before we?
That you can tell.
Yeah, that you can
Oh,
tell.
yeah.
In polite company.
No, so I just got to know these police officers, and I just loved being around them, and it's just like, I knew right then, it was like, some people have a hard time deciding what they want to do. That's what I wanted to do.
Well, I mean, that's cool. So what part of town did you grow up in? Because we know where your heart has kind of been in the Northwest Quadrant on Wells Street.
So I grew up at 402 Newton Square, which is in Westchester Addition, which is over by I call it Ben Geyer because I don't even know what the name of it's called now. But it was Ben Geyer was a junior high school, so we spent a lot of time playing baseball and football up there, using their field. I mean,
What street was Ben Geyer on?
It was on Paulding.
Paulding Road, yes.
Oh, okay.
Paulding
Just
Road.
down from Lures to the east.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Close by.
And I mean, it was an awesome time growing up there. I loved it. I miss my mom and dad.
So when did you lose them?
I lost my mom in 2020 and my dad in 2018.
Oh.
I miss them every day, but I'd like to see them again. I'm just too lazy to dig them up, Jamie.
Oh.
I'm sure they would be very proud of you right now.
Yeah.
All you have to do is look
That's
up
what you
there.
miss when you've lost your parents.
Oh, yeah.
You get to something like this, and
Yeah,
you know how proud they'd be.
Oh, exactly. Yes.
I know.
But yeah, so anyway.
So, so you grew up there, all right, and then you joined in 1983 when you were 21 years old. Where were you first assigned?
Okay, so when I completed my 6-month training, which was an awesome experience because I got to ride with Rusty York.
Uh-huh.
And then I became good friends with him, and you know, I just kind of idolized that guy. And so after I completed that 6 months, reality hit.
What do you mean?
So, you know, the fun part went. You're training officer, had a good time, and now you're just part of the minimum count.
Mm.
And new guys.
The minimum count.
Yeah, the number of officers that have to be on the street during a certain shift.
Okay.
Can't go below minimum count.
Okay.
So I walked the beat, and I remember the first day, it was Bill Michael. Bill Michael drops me off at the corner of Oxford and Hannah. It was in the middle of January. Sleet was coming down, and said, pick you back up here at 9:30.
Sort of like what's going on out there right now.
Yeah, so I just had to make my way.
What was it like? I mean, you were freezing, right? Or does that not bother you?
Hey, it was a lonely feeling because I'm thrown out at Oxford and Hannah.
Okay.
I don't know anybody really. And I just had to walk around and meet people in stores, and I got to know Mabel Koenig down at, she owned Jim K's Pizza, and I got to know her real well. She took care of me. I would just go back there and make myself pizzas and stuff. It was awesome. And
The perks of being a police officer.
yeah, and then I had the root beer stand when it was open. Down at
Any donut shops?
No, it wasn't any donut shops, but I got...
That's the old joke.
So I just started walking around and got to know people. And, you know, back then there was... So I walked on Rudisill, Oxford, Pontiac, and Creighton during my beat time. And I got to know a lot of cool people, and they actually took care of me, and I had a really good time. And
was there a fire station right around there too?
no, there was one up at Rudisill in Lafayette, but I didn't really go there.
Okay.
But I had the keys to St. Hyacinth's Church. They had a basement. They had a kitchen down in the basement. I could go cook myself something down there. It was right there on McKee Street. And, you know,
But if you're going to cook yourself something, where were you going to get the food to cook?
I went down to Phil's Market. I'd go up to Phil's or Bob's on Pontiac.
Okay.
Pontiac and Anthony, or Hannah and Pontiac.
Okay.
And get whatever I needed and go back there and cook it, or just, you know, make a sandwich or whatever.
Were they always just dropping you off and picking you up? It was like you didn't have a squad car?
After a while, you know, I would just drive my own vehicle out, park it, and then start walking.
Jeez. I mean, now every police officer has his or her squad car.
Well, you know, here's the thing. Like, young officers, they don't realize how fortunate they are. I mean, they come on now, they're given bulletproof vest, everything, car. We had to buy all that stuff. Back then, the cars were at a premium. We didn't have that many cars.
Right.
And the cars we had ran 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
And had holes in the floorboards.
Oh my God.
Oh, that was one of the big issues in the '87 mayoral campaign.
Yeah.
There were those Chrysler K cars that were kind of not the greatest cars.
They weren't great cars. Those old Diplomats, Newports, and
they just ran them ragged.
Holes in the floorboard.
You go to the sign shop and get like a, you know, whatever sign they had laying there, and plop that down on the floor and bend it around with your feet, keep the rain out.
Well, so when you arrested somebody and they're cuffed in your back seat, was there a barrier there, or were you like at the mercy of the individual behind you?
Some of them had barriers, some of them didn't.
They didn't have barriers.
No.
Oh my God, I can't even.
It was just, you had a bench seat. So like when you did finally get to ride with a passenger in a car, if you had a short partner and he wanted to pull up to the pedals, I'm crunched.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, so you did drive around with a partner then?
So, yeah, finally I got in a partner car. But I spent about 2.5 years on the beat. And like I say, I loved it. I remember I was going down Oxford. I think it was a lady at Barnes Grocery came out yelling for the police. So I go in there and back then here's what you had. You had handcuffs, you had a billy club,
right,
and you had a revolver with 12 extra rounds. That's what you had.
Well, how many rounds have they got now?
Well, the revolver had, what, 5 or 6? And then...
Like right now, normal loadout's 52 rounds. So anyway.
Not that they always need that, but.
Yeah, but that's just the way things are now. But so I just remember, she's like, I go back there, and back then the grocery stores had like arcades in them. So there was these 2 dudes fighting in the back of the store at in the arcade. And you know, I only had like 6 months under my belt.
Oh,
so I didn't really know how to do So I just remember, I just grabbed this one dude, I grabbed him, and I act like I'm gonna hit that other dude with a billy club, and they both took off running on me. So I'm like, oh, okay. I guess the problem's taken care of.
It was a little different attitude in those days. Mutual combat. The bar fights are the toughest things to prosecute.
Yeah.
Well, we say that.
Yeah, they are.
And it's, both sides are at fault usually.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
Well, I just think it's kind of quaint and cute that you got to actually walk your beat. I don't think anybody does that.
I loved it. People stop, honk at me, wave. It was nice. It was. I look back in the hot days and the cold days, you forget about the worst parts, but you remember the good parts. And I was fortunate to actually do that. Because, that's how policing really should kind of be still. You still should know your neighborhood people. And when you're walking, you get to know a lot of them because they invite you in and, whatever.
No, I think that the communication, they always talk about that, particularly after the protests. We need to use a softer approach. I wrote an article with Jim Chapman over there at the Journal-Gazette about what other cities had tried. Fort Wayne didn't burn down, which people pointed out. That was a good thing. But they were always talking about communication, and it really is. So, if you want to talk about that, fine. I'm just adding my own in there.
Yeah.
So I wanted to read a tribute to you because there have been many. And I was telling the chief before we went on, I
write those all myself.
I read the comments on 21 and Wayne, and I told him I saw nothing negative. Do you know how unusual that is? Of course, he's being self-deprecating and joking around that he had hired somebody to get rid of him, but I know that's not true. I think that, I think people were really, really excited about the fact that you are the chief, and for whatever reasons, Scott Caudill stepped down, and he's still on the force, which means he's a fine person. So I just wanted to get this picture up of, I wanted to show the chief, even though we will show it here. Here's a man named Kevin Corey.
Oh, Kevin.
Old Kevin.
Love Kevin.
And he called me that day that the announcement was made. He said he got my number from the Journal-Gazette, which I have not been there for several years, but that's fine with me. And he said, I want to make a statement. And so he said he was an officer with the FWPD from 1991 to 2012. He left to become the police chief in Lincoln Heights, Ohio, which is outside Cincinnati. And this statement, he started out with this sentence, and I know you're going to get embarrassed, but he said, this guy right here is just an incredible, phenomenal human being. He said that because of P.J. Smith, Corey was able to score the highest score on the street, which I guess meant of all the police officers who were taking the sergeant test, because you helped him and another African-American officer study for that test.
Yeah, we studied for it, but see, he still had to go in there and take that test. I showed him a couple techniques that helped me.
What were the techniques? Because maybe something else.
I'll tell you what, the techniques for me, you go through all the material, you make note cards, with a Class C felony is, flip it over,
Memorize.
blah, blah, blah.
Flashcards, basically.
Yeah, flashcards.
They still work.
And he made stacks of them. And so the grade he got, he earned it.
Right, but he's saying it was because of you. You gave him the
I showed him how to do some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Because I'm not smart myself.
Oh, we don't believe that. Because of that kind of help, he eventually got promoted to captain of the Southeast Quadrant, which is apparently where he grew up in 2011, of course, I said that he left, that was the year before he left to become a police chief in Ohio. He also said that when he moved up, you were telling me the name of the neighborhood where he moved, or he was in the same neighborhood that your parents still lived in, where you grew up. Mm-hmm. He had a home there.
Right.
There was a really bad tornado that came through there. I don't know that
this would have been after he moved away from my mom and dad's old addition.
Okay.
And he moved into Paper Mill Bluffs.
Right. Is that off like Washington Center Road?
It's off St. Joe Center.
St. Joe Center, yeah. I know. I've been past that a million times.
Yeah.
He said there was a really bad tornado and his children were inside the house. I'm not sure exactly where he was, but they were looking, they had some trees down and everything else. And his quote is, "We looked outside and PJ is out there with a chainsaw clearing trees out of our front yard."
This is because I like to run chainsaws.
I guess they could be.
Boys with toys.
That's right. Kevin's a good dude. He's like a brother to me.
Well, let's see. He said, and the other thing he told me, because I was, pumping him for a little bit of information. He said, you got that empathy from your parents.
Yeah. My mom and dad, just awesome people. And, I remember my mom would take over people, people didn't have Thanksgiving. She'd take them to Thanksgiving. And just the way she was,
Wow.
That's just the way she was. Both great people, awesome people. Give me a standard to live up to.
Did you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah.
Are any of them cops?
No. My brother, he's, I think, some kind of executive at Do It Best. He is like a lumber broker. And my sister, she's been a CPA most of her life. Yeah, so that she's working like a retirement job. She works at the city now. She does some accounting for them. But yeah, she supervises some office up in accounting or controller's office.
Well, it's kind of nice that your family's all around you and everything too.
Yeah, I got a brother and sister left. I got a niece who just got engaged. So that's nice.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
Excellent. So when I met you, you were captain. I think it was 2 years ago that you were promoted to deputy chief. But again, you were in charge of the Northwest Quadrant. So
nothing changed when I got promoted. It was just the same. It was a pay raise, basically, I guess.
Well, I know, but it's an honor to be a deputy chief. It's a recognition of your service and your capabilities.
Yeah.
And not everybody gets to be a deputy chief. I'm sure there's a lot of police officers who would love to be deputy chiefs. But let's just take a look at that Northwest Quadrant, because when I started looking at it, it's demographically and culturally like all over the place. The southernmost border is Jefferson Boulevard. So you're right in the heart of downtown. You go to the west, you've got Hillegas and Huguenard way out to Fritz Road. The north includes DuPont way out to Carroll Road. There's another border at Bethel Road. That's really out in the northwest.
Yeah.
Then to the east, you have Coldwater and North Clinton Street. North Clinton goes all the way out to Wallen Road. As I said, I thought maybe the hospital was part of it, but then you said that you and the boys from the Northwest Quadrant, and the women, I shouldn't say the boys, because police department now is thankfully very diverse. But you said you do wind up out at Parkview Regional Hospital quite often. You want to talk about that?
Well, I mean, I don't know how often, but if somebody walks in with a shooting out there, people do get dropped off after they've been shot. And of course, any time anybody walks into a hospital that's been shot or stabbed, they have to call the police.
Right.
It's state law. So we end up taking those calls.
Right. So you end up going there. So even though it's in the county.
Yeah, most of the time it happens in the city, though, so we'll end up working it.
Right.
Yeah.
I get that. So, I mean, how do you even go about policing the Northwest Quadrant?
Well, here's the secret to it. It's all the awesome officers that we have. Mm-hmm. I mean, they just come in every day. They work as a team, and it's a team sport. So you got a family fight with battery, got a couple cars going over there.
Right. Say
they make a couple arrests. Well, you got a couple arrests now to do. You got paperwork to do.
Right, and that takes a long time, doesn't it?
Maybe you have to have Department of Child Services come in, so their buddies will come in. They split up all the paperwork and they knock it out 4 or 5 hours. I mean, they just tag team everything. Somebody's got an arrest with a car. Somebody will show up and say, hey, man, can I do the tow slip for you? Another one will say, can I make the cage run for you? And do the booking slip so you can get started on the arrest paperwork and the report. So here's the thing. I'm going to tell you something.
Go ahead. I'm ready for it.
My schnauzer can be the chief of police because of the staff we have. If somebody would take him out to go to the bathroom once in a while.
No problem.
Yeah. Because everybody around there just knows what to do.
Yeah, but somebody has to set up that organization.
Yeah. All I do is I'm just
well, let me ask you this.
I'm just like the head coach that cheers them on.
Well, that's good though. I mean, because
I don't, and when I say that, it's not like I'm better than them, and I don't like anybody calling me chief. It's just Butch or PJ. I guess
that's going to be kind of hard.
I guess the thing that I got going for me is just, and it takes a while to get it, is just the wisdom and knowledge that you gain from 43 years. So you can kind of help people along.
Oh, wow.
So kind of steer things a little bit. Maybe just make a suggestion. You know what I'm saying?
Well, one of the things, excuse me, one of the places or many places that you have in your quadrant, I believe, are all those hotels off Lima Road and all those hotels off West Coliseum and Goshen Road.
Yeah. I think I cut Mike off on something.
Well, I just think you're being very modest because
yes.
I think you are the epitome of leading by example. And there's no job in the department that you either haven't done or would do if you needed to.
Oh,
and I think that not being perceived as an elitist, and I think you said it last week that you're a beat cop at heart.
That's what I do. That's what I know how to do. My first day on the job with the staff there, my first words out of my mouth were, if I'm up, you need to tell me.
Thank you.
And they're like, or if something is up, you need to let me know so we can get the stuff fixed. And they're like, you got it, brother.
And you get to use that language, which I'm sure they love.
Well, cops. That
Yeah.
You know what you can tell a cop?
What?
Nothing. Yeah.
Here's what one cop told me about you. Well, she is a, I shouldn't say she because I didn't want to give it away. But
it doesn't matter.
She said that you will be firm as well, but fair. And that's what.
Well, firm. It's just doing the right thing.
Right.
If you just do the right thing, you don't have to be a dick about it.
Yeah, but the thing is, Chief, not everybody knows what the right thing is.
Yeah, they do.
You think they do?
I think so, yeah.
Of course, I can't find it right now, but well, I mean, and I agree with Mike that I think you're being modest. But what do you have to say about those horrible hotels? We had a discussion about this years ago. Those hotels used to be respectable.
Yeah, so when I came on, most of those hotels were brand new, like the Hawthorne Inn
Yes.
up there on Lima Road.
Yep, I've been there.
Yeah, so we have, we've had our share of problems in there. So I remember that place was built in 1997.
Oh.
It was a Residence Inn by Marriott, and it was a place where business people stayed for, a month or whatever. And it was basically like a home in there. If you go into those places, you can see where they were very nice. They had fireplaces in them upstairs.
Fireplaces?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Upstairs, like a, ensuite and everything. Living room downstairs. I mean, they're really, back in the day, they were nice. Now you can see that they're dilapidated.
Right.
There's not much money being put. The money that goes into them is just to keep neighborhood code off, out of their business. They just put the bare minimum into everything. But here's why those apartments exist. Or I call them apartments because that's basically what they are. They're not hotel rooms anymore. People live in them long term. So let me back up. So when I came on the police department, we didn't have homeless people. We didn't have any of this. This is all something that was relatively new, and I think it kind of hit with the opioid crisis.
Yeah.
And so, people lost their homes. I mean, they became drug addicts, and they were put on the street. A lot of them have mental illness too. Mm-hmm. We have some people who are homeless just because they don't want to be responsible for anything. They just do their thing. But a lot of them, if you notice, you'll see them talking to themselves. There's mental illness and there's drug addiction out there. So
Sometimes the two together.
Yeah. So
quite often, I think.
Yeah. So to get an apartment, you have to have a security deposit. You have to have credit. Well, they don't have any of that. So it's the motel. That's where they go. They pay by the week, and they hustle whatever they got to do to get that money for the week. And you'll notice too, when summer hits, they no longer have to find a place to stay because being outside like even today is hard on a person.
Oh yeah.
And I tell you what, I'm kind of in admiration of how some of them can survive like they do. It's amazing. But in the summertime, you'll see them pop up out here because that's spending money that they can spend on other things.
Oh yeah.
So you'll start to see the hotels, the residency rate drop off a little bit in the summer.
But I'll bet you that the population rises around the river.
It does. I mean, we get encampments.
You can see the smoke rising.
And you go down in some of those things, and honest to God, I had one over here off of West Main. I went down there. I mean, they had a really nice compound set up and everything, and they were very nice to me. Mm-hmm. It was actually kind of like a cozy spot. I mean, it was down over the levee and down by the river, and it was nice what they had going. But that was low river, and but when the river starts coming up, that takes all that out of there.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. So the problem is.
But what do you do when you get down there and you see that they're living, and you're a police officer and you're supposed to enforce the law? That they're not supposed to be living there.
Well, sometimes, like if it's out of sight, out of mind, we don't really mess with it too much. But when people call in and complain, then we got to give them a notice and ask them to relocate. But
do you have any solution to it?
I don't.
I know.
I wish somebody did.
I know.
But Fort Wayne, I mean, this is everywhere right now.
No, this isn't unique
You
to
know?
us.
I just wish we did have a solution to it, but I don't know what that is.
I know. It's like we could talk about the drug crisis, we could talk about the homeless crisis, but
You know, you can talk about, well, why don't they go to the rescue mission? Because, you know,
the rules.
they got rules.
Right.
People say, well, if I go down there, people steal my, it's filthy. There's drugs in there.
Oh,
You know, I mean, yeah,
not supposed to.
yeah. So, you know, you hear this kind of stuff, and there is something to be said about solitary living. You know, just being out
Well,
there.
if you want to live like Huckleberry Finn, then I guess, you know,
Yeah.
Fort Wayne isn't the best place to do it because it's so darn cold. I imagine down in Florida it must be, well, actually, they got a lot of critters.
Well, I
down
remember
there.
one day, this was when I was riding with Tim Bogenschutz. We went down there to that little, what's the park across from G? McAlexander?
Yeah.
From where?
Yeah.
McAlexander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody called us, there was a homeless dude up in that little
Go to
pagoda thing. So we go up there, and this guy, we're like, dude, you can't be here. And it was cold out. And we're like, you gotta go. And he's like, let me put my legs on. I'm like, well, what happened to your legs? He's like, I got frostbite and they had cut them off.
Oh, no.
So we felt bad for him. So we took him to get some McDonald's, and we're like, well, what are we gonna do with this guy now? So we took him down to the city county building and put him in that hallway into where it goes in the old lockup. Because back then, the jail had already moved, so we weren't using that hallway anymore. Here's a place you can just kind of chill out. Well, then, when the security came through there in the morning, you know, they confronted him. He took a crutch and swung it at him, so they had to call and get him removed then.
I'm surprised I'm surprised the prosecutors didn't charge him with assault.
So it's like they just burned they burned bridges, and I'll never forget that conversation I had with that guy. I'm like, dude, why do you, if you're homeless, you can be homeless anywhere. Why don't you go down to like Miami or something where it's warm? He's like, because I know people here.
Wow.
You know? You know?
People make choices. I mean,
Yeah.
on days like this, it's kind of like, why do any of us
I
live
don't
here?
know.
Right.
I got my hat and gloves on, and I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, it's hard.
But yeah, the whole mindset on the homeless population, there's so many reasons for it. I mean, some of it goes back to the mental illness and
Yep.
closing down the State Developmental Center,
Yes.
put a lot of people out on the street.
That was a terrible idea.
And you have that quandary for the rescue mission. Has to have rules. If you're running the organization, you've got to have some limits on what comes in, because if you don't, you'll probably get sued
Right.
if somebody assaults you. Or
Right.
So, I mean, there's not a lot of magic answers on this. Nobody has really been able to
I
figure
really
it
think
out.
that's when we should
Right.
start looking at what other countries do. I'm talking about Western Europe. Because when I go over there every year, I don't see that. I do see it in Paris, but I don't see it outside of that. In what a town that would be the equivalent of Fort Wayne. I don't know what they do, but I'm going to start asking them that too, because I like to go to the courts over there. So I wrote an article about Wells Street because 5 years ago, before COVID hit, there was some kind of construction or whatever. I believe it was the new rescue mission that was being built. And there were a lot of the people from the rescue mission that were housed up in a building. If you kept going up 3rd Street, there was some kind of a building where they were having them stay at night, but then they'd turn them out at like 6, 7 in the morning. And they were flooding the streets of the Wells Street area. So I went over there as a police
Oh, that was
reporter.
that church they were staying at temporarily while their mission was in transition.
Right, but everybody was complaining about all the people who were taking spice and doing things on people's lawns and things like that. So I went up there, and as a sidebar, I did a whole article on you. Police captain devotes job to Bloomingdale area. There you are, sitting there with a cute little boy in the car, and you got your dog in the back, you know.
Oh, yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, and I don't know whether, anyway, and Michelle Davies took that great picture, which I have some that we're going to be showing too, because I always take pictures when I go out and do a story. But you said at that point you like to walk Wells Street, see
I do.
people, talk to people. It's 34 square miles. The neighborhood was one of the first ones in Fort Wayne with homes dating back to 1850s, and there's a lot of nice.
Talking about the Northwest Quadrant, it's 34 square miles.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the Wells Street area itself.
Yeah, it's like the oldest neighborhood. I know when people have remodeled over there, there's still gas lines in the walls from the lighting, and
Oh, that's scary though.
yeah.
I often worry about all the older homes over there.
I mean, they don't use it anymore, but those lines are still in there when they pull out a wall or something.
Oh, okay. So it's one of the first neighborhoods in Fort Wayne with homes dating back to the 1850s. So what drew you to the Wells Street area? Because I know you still walk the beat up there, you go up and down Wells Street.
Well, when Rusty York became chief, he offered that to me.
Oh.
If I'd be the captain up there. So I said, yeah.
Oh. So you were captain that early on?
I was a captain up there from 2000 to whenever Steve Reed promoted me, like 2022 maybe.
Oh, so it was Steve Reed who promoted you. I didn't know that.
Yeah, under Mayor Henry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but let me give a shout out to Mayor Helmke, because he gave me my first big break.
And how was that?
Well, I'm going to tell you a story.
Okay, good. I like these stories.
So he asked me, he wanted me to be a deputy chief of operations back then. I was terrible at it.
What do you have to do as operations chief?
Well, back then you had one operations chief who was responsible for all the uniform patrol in the city. I was 37 years old. I wasn't ready for that. And so then I was able to get a captain spot, Southwest, and I did that for about 6 months. And then when Rusty came in, I had a chance to move up Northwest, so I took it.
You said, Chief, I got to go back to Wells Street. Was it something like that?
No, it was kind of like he just came in. He's like, I don't know if it was so much a choice, but they needed somebody up there, and I said, I'll do it.
What is it about that area that you love so much? It's not your home neighborhood, so it's...
So, my wife and I, we moved up Northwest. So that's kind of where I got used to working.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, but do you live further north than that? You certainly don't.
I lived on California Road. I think it was 4702 California Road West. And I just moved around the corner down on Leesburg Road.
Oh, okay. So you're out that way.
Yeah. She's got these loud parrots. I could move in the city, but...
Seriously?
Yeah. My wife has these.
They're that loud?
Oh, yeah. You want a bird? I'll give you one. But yeah, so, yeah, they're loud. So, it's kind of like the country, but I'm only, once I get over the bridge, 69, I'm like, I don't know, a mile outside, or maybe, I don't even know if it's that.
Well, I think the Wells Street corridor, though, is also more of a traditional neighborhood.
It is.
That we really don't have that many that still have pretty vibrant businesses.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
if you go down, Calhoun Street south, down by South Side and stuff, has a lot of that. But the city's changed. But Wells Street has kind of made a comeback from
Yes.
some of that, with several restaurants.
Yes, it has.
Oh, absolutely. It's so different than it even was 5 years ago. But 5 years ago, the spice, you don't even hear about spice anymore.
No. Yeah, like Wells Street, it's just going to keep getting bigger too, because you got that wedge project going in. You got the Schaub Metal building, that's going to be all opened up. You're going to have flashbacks in there, and then I think Don Chavez is moving over there. They're going to be bulldozing the old Don Chavez down.
Oh, and
What about the homes in between? Are they going to?
So all that space is going to be tied up with that wedge project, and I think that's going to start like in 3 years or something. But it's going to be a huge, huge thing.
Because the people who are living in those little homes right now, which is like kind of right where Promenade Park is, and then the old Pepsi building came down, and then you have those homes that, like that you hit up to 4th Street. So there's a number of residences there that I'm wondering are.
Well, a lot of those homes now are, rentals, and they're owned by corporations.
Hedge funds.
Yeah, I mean, so like.
People I just love.
Yeah, but all that property was bought up.
That's a shame.
And they know it's going to be worth money when that riverfront expands.
And they're just sitting on it.
Mm-hmm. Rent them out.
Are they from New York?
I don't even know where.
Probably New Jersey.
Yeah.
New Jersey.
Probably, yeah.
Listen, New York is where the hedge funders are still located. But anyway, so part of that article, as I said, was a sidebar about Captain Smith at that time. Shauna, is it Nicelli?
Oh, yeah, Shauna owns G.I. Joe's.
She owns, but how do you say her last name? Nicelli, okay. She was the president of the historic Wells Street corridor, and she said that she'd seen the officer, we're going to get into some nice stuff about you now, perform many kind of acts. And her quote was, "I've seen PJ take people, put them in his car, take them to a hotel, and buy them a night. PJ is such a compassionate person. When I see him working, I wish I were a better person. He is really an outstanding, kind person."
She's being very kind there. I mean, I've done it a couple of times, but most of the time, it's just to get them out of my hair.
Well, I can see that too.
It's just like, just need to park them somewhere, and they don't fit the criteria for jail, so we just got to, you know what I'm saying? It just makes my life easier.
Right, but you see that they don't fit the criteria for jail. I'm sure there are many.
We have people we have officers, I have people tell me, "Hey, take me to jail."
Really?
Take me to jail. I mean, it's like right now with the jail, maybe you could do that back in the day. They'd go and plead guilty to public intox or something, but now they're just, I mean, if they're not violent, they're not keeping them in jail, so it wouldn't really do much good for them if they're looking for a place to crash for the night. You could jail used to be kind of like an option, but it's not anymore.
It's basically
I'll beat the drum
crowded.
again on, we had, I think, 92 this morning that are ready to go to DOC sitting in the jail. And that was down, they usually do pickups on Tuesday, so we were at 100 yesterday. And
they only took 8?
They probably
supposed to take up to 14.
12 or 14, but
right.
We add to it. We're still running courts and sentencing people.
Yeah, you're sentencing them left and right around here in Allen County.
But the prisons are so full, you got to let somebody out before you can let people in.
Prisons are horrible. The Indiana prisons are absolutely horrible because people send me videos and I just don't get me started. So anyway, back to this article. We're talking about the public, including the homeless, were invited to a cookout last month at Wells Street Park at Wells and 3rd Street. I thought it was a great idea. It was September. It was still warm. The captain brought his dogs in the backseat of his cruiser to the delight of neighborhood children who were allowed to pet them.
Yeah.
Is that your schnauzer?
A schnauzer and old bull. I got 2 schnauzers, old bulldog. I still got I got to stick a mirror up under to see if she's still alive.
Aww. Was she?
Yeah. I got put her in there,
Were they travel with you all the time? Are they like your companions on the road?
Once in a while, yeah.
Okay.
I like to take them with me.
I remember one time when I was at Wayne and I pulled into the parking lot and I saw this deer across the road. This is actually a sad story. And it hit his legs against the
I don't want to hear a sad story.
aluminum divider. Then it made it over to the Wayne parking lot, and then it parked right underneath somebody, and you came over and got it, and he had already died. You put it in the back of your truck, and you said you were taking it to a place where...
Oh, ran into this TV station up there.
Well, it died at the TV station.
Yeah, it died when it hit the wall there, didn't it?
Well, no, it hit that... It was really sad to watch. I mean, because I saw the whole thing. He tried to jump over the other side of the road, didn't make it. He hit his legs, or she, whatever it was. Then it kind of ran and limped and fell, got up again, and landed at the building underneath, well, I'm not going to say he's worked there, his office window. He was kind of spooked out that day, I will tell you.
Yeah.
So I wasn't quite sure what to do. The deer was sort of breathing like this, and then you came over and saved the day because, I mean.
Yeah, so that deer, we took that up to the wildlife sanctuary in Huntertown.
Right.
Bridget Bodeker's she's married to an officer.
Oh, okay.
She's married to
Police officer or county officer?
city officer.
Okay.
And she runs that Outdoor Adventures down here on Main Street.
Oh.
But she also volunteers up there at the wildlife sanctuary up there on Huntertown, where they save birds of prey,
Right.
owls, eagles.
Right.
They got a bald eagle there. They're rehab. Really cool. They got like 9 freezers that are stocked full of deer, because that's what these birds eat.
Oh.
So I took the deer up there. I got a hold of Bridget. I said, hey, I'm going to come in with this deer. She's like, okay. So we take it over to, what was that meat processing place there? Started with an F. Anyway, we go over there. Bridget takes the deer, and she cleaned that deer in like 2 minutes.
Pioneer woman.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm just standing back amazed. And then we took the deer back, and she said we're going to have that processed, because the place was processing the deer for the rehab place, for the animal rehab.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it didn't go to waste.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that, but
Yeah.
I'll never forget. You drove up in that pickup truck that you
I
had.
still drive it.
Oh, okay. That was
Yeah.
really cool, yeah. Because at the time that I did this story, like more than 5 years ago, you were driving an SUV.
Yeah, but I had the truck then when I picked up that deer.
Okay, yeah, you did.
We threw it in the back of that truck.
But that was just like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So anyway, off the subject here a little bit. So there was Bob Shoemaker, who was the president of the Bloomingdale Neighborhood Association. He calls you a knight in shining armor. I didn't make this up. Dale Wilkins, a 3rd Street resident, he was such a sweet man. He said, you were the big brother we never had. I had to put that in the article. I just thought that was so nice.
This is like going to your own funeral.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. And then PJ said it was being an I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you that. Chief said it was.
No, you should call.
I know.
People call me PJ or Butch. That's what I go by.
I never called you Butch. It was just like I always knew you as PJ.
Oh.
Sorry. This job puts us in a unique position to help people. That's why police officers do it every day. This might make you embarrassed, but you said, every day when I get up, I just think, Lord, make me a slave to all and an instrument of your peace. Your will be done. I love the people I work with, and that's why I do it.
Yeah, and that's what I say every day when I start my day.
I know, that's really neat. I mean, it shows, because it's like, I hate to tell you this, Chief, but everybody loves you.
Hey, I give you a list of names of people who don't like me.
Oh, good. Afterward, please.
I was going to say,
Yeah. You know, as a reporter,
even if that's true, it's going to change a little bit.
Yeah.
I always want to know that. So now, I always at the end, I allow anybody to say anything they want, but do you have any ideas or changes that you want to make to the FWPD? Because you did say that you wanted to keep the FWPD fully staffed. Mm-hmm. And is that going to be difficult?
Well, so you just never know. We have got to stay competitive. Mm-hmm. I think we offer a pretty decent incentive package right now and pay package.
Absolutely.
Because we're getting people who come in from different parts of the country. The last time I did interviews was back in July or August. I can't remember. We had a guy drive all the way in. He's married to a Canadian, but he's American. He drove all the way in from Toronto that morning.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we had a lady who, born and raised in Hawaii, she had moved to Fort Wayne, and she applied. So it's like, we're getting a lot of talent. So I think.
Did she have any police training, or this man?
She was a psychologist.
Oh, okay.
She was trying to get into my brain.
Well, I wrote up some guy who was, I wrote up some man who was a police officer in New York City, and he came to work for us because his wife got a great job at our library in the genealogy
Yeah,
section.
so yeah, we run the gamut. So I think we're still staying competitive, and I credit that to the mayor and city council. But we got.
You also have a great recruitment effort going on now.
And I was just getting ready to hit that. So you got Juan Barrientos. He's the captain at the police academy or the police training center.
Right.
He does an awesome job training these people but he's got a recruiting staff down there.
Oh, I didn't know.
Doug Weaver.
Yeah.
And I would encourage anybody who's thinking about the Fort Wayne Police Department, jump online. Doug's address and everything's on there. Phone. Get a hold of Doug if you're thinking about joining the police department. And
I think there's an app too.
He'll hold your hand and walk you through everything.
Mm-hmm.
But they do an outstanding job of recruiting people and training people. That's why I think our police agency here, I think we're miles ahead of a lot of places. And so, yeah, we want to keep our recruiting going, and that's the thing that you got to look at every year. You got to look at and say how many people we have retiring. You got to kind of take a guess how many people we're going to hire every year. And that's something you sit down with my boss, the mayor, and the controller, and you sit down and you say, how many are we allowed to have? What can we afford? And so you're kind of taking a guess how many you're going to need. You don't want to fall short, because once you fall short, it's hard to make it back up. So it's kind of a balance you got to run there.
Well, it's kind of interesting that Marty Bender is now the Fort Wayne Council president.
and I'll tell you something.
That's got to help a little bit.
Marty helps. That guy is one of the most organized guys I've ever met in my life. He took care of me when I came on the police department. I learned a lot from Marty, and he's a wealth of knowledge. Mm-hmm. And he knows our city budget inside out like nobody else. And he knows what we need. And he's been very supportive of us. And, it's nice that I can pick up the phone and call him at any time if I need advice.
Oh, that's good.
And so, yeah, it's good that he's there because he's got inside track of how this place runs. And I do want to get the downtown district up.
Yeah, that was the next thing I wanted to ask you. So you did say you wanted to spend time on the streets with your officers, but you also want to continue the FWPD's initiative in the downtown district. And I can remember 5 years ago during the protests, you already had the guys on the bikes.
Had the guys on the bikes. So I sat down with Assistant Chief Tim Sylvia, who's been wonderful. I mean, this guy is just a wealth of knowledge, and I couldn't do this job without him. So we identified the personnel that we're going to have, the number of people we're going to need to have to run this downtown district.
Okay. And this is a new initiative.
It's going to be its own district downtown.
That's really neat.
Yeah, instead of having these, right now it's covered by a couple different overlapping, abutting districts.
Well, I mean, part of the Northwest Quadrant is downtown.
Yeah, we cover like West Main, and we come down to the river. But this will be its own carved out territory, with its own police staff, command, and we got so much investment coming into downtown now. We want to protect that. We want to make it a place where investors still want to come into our Fort Wayne area, because Mike will remember back in the 70s and 80s, there wasn't anything down here, really. There were law offices, and you had Coney Island, but there wasn't really a whole lot here that I remember.
I mean, I think people would be amazed to realize that we had a strip club at the corner of Harrison and
yes,
Main Street.
Yeah,
and I believe one on the corner of Calhoun and Main.
Yeah, you had the She Bar, you had Cat's Meow.
Okay.
The Raskeller was down on Harrison to Washington.
Yeah,
I mean, it was seedy, basically.
it was seedy, and it wasn't a place where you'd bring families down. Now you see people walking dogs,
Yeah.
going to restaurants. I mean, you see people coming in from out. You can notice, if you notice, like during the weekdays, you'll see groups of like guys or women walking. Those are people coming in for business meetings and stuff. They're staying overnight. We want to make that an area where people still want to come to.
So is this special, like, police district, I might want to call it, is it going to have like a really cool name like the Metro Police District or anything like that?
No.
Or is it the Downtown District?
It'll be the downtown district.
It's going to be called the Downtown District.
Yes.
Okay, so how many officers do you think are going to be assigned to this unit?
Well, it's still kind of up in the air, but we're shooting for a couple on days, a couple on, we A, B, and C. Mm-hmm. So we always want to keep it staffed with.
That's the A shift, the B shift, and the C shift for people who don't understand policing.
Yeah, so we always want to keep a minimum count of 2
right
on each shift, and they'll be responsible for an area basically small in geography. We're talking like Clay Street to the east, Van Buren to the west, tracks to the south, and maybe a little, almost up to 4th Street. Pretty confined, but we want to make sure that we always have a good police presence.
Right.
And we got a couple little ATVs that allow us to get down in the nooks and crannies. They're marked, and we got our bikes. We got the boat patrol, which is part of that. But we actually want to get it up and running here by right around spring break.
Yeah.
This is really kind of a return to where you started with
Yes.
the top
Yes.
kind of mentality
Yes.
of getting to know everybody in this area, because
Yes.
while it's a relatively small area that you can walk, get to know the businesses up
Right.
and down, the restaurants, and be a presence to the people that are coming down to the park.
Well, that's right, and luckily I happen to be friends with Chuck Sirac, and he's helping me as much as he can.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be impossible to have your headquarters at the Russo Center, only I think that's pretty full right now.
Well, yeah, so like right now, every quadrant has what we call an outpost. That's where officers could go use a computer, got a microwave, sink, bathroom, and computer terminals there if they have to work on an arrest or whatever. Northwest has one at the fire station out there on Northland Boulevard. Northeast has one over here at Lake and Reed in the new fire station. Mm-hmm. Southwest has one at the fire station there on Getz.
Okay.
But Southeast is the only one that doesn't have a place to go.
And that's not right.
No.
That's not right.
So we want to get that fixed. Mm-hmm. So they got their own place, where they can pull in,
Well, and also the people who live there can always report things. It would be nice to have. I mean, it's nice for officers to have a place.
It's just nice to have that presence.
Yeah.
You're seeing cars coming and going, and it's just nice. Right now, they can go down to the police station, but they got to park, and then they got to go upstairs, and it's not intimate like the other quadrants.
Yeah, I've been out to the one that's in the Northwest a few times, and it is really nice. I mean, they got everything you need, the fire people and the police.
If we want to have a meeting with everybody real quick, we can all pop in there.
Yeah.
And it's nice, but Southeast doesn't have anything.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's since probably when we had Southgate.
Southgate, we had, we were at a police station in the basement of Big Lots there in the old Stillman's building.
Well, I mean,
yep.
Southgate is still there.
Remember Stillman's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's called Southgate or not, but it's still there. What you're talking about where the Kroger is?
Southgate used to be the place. And then you had South Town Mall when that started. That was awesome. But yeah, all those, we had over at Southgate, we had Woolworths, We had Grant Leader. We had Stillman's. You know, we had Kroger's was there. We had a candy place there.
Well, it still has stores. I've done
Yeah.
stories out of there and everything.
Yeah.
I think Sharon Tucker is really trying to. She's following Mayor Henry's lead, and I'm hearing about new construction, new commercial, new residential. So jail's moving out there, so that's really going to make that area grow financially as well, in my opinion.
When you get Google out there.
Yeah.
You know.
That's a fun thing to bring up, Chief.
Yeah, I don't really know much about it. I know they're going to use a lot of water.
And electricity, and my electricity bill. I'm not going to go on a rant this time, but
Yeah.
next time
Close.
I will be.
Yeah.
I don't know how, well, let's not do that. All right, so we have been really, really talking a lot, and we're probably running out of time, but I want to let our new chief have time to say whatever he wants to say. Is there anything else that you want to say? And Mike, you too, of course. And my right hand, I haven't heard from you at all today.
I'll just say this. I appreciate the mayor.
I'm here.
Hi, right
Just
hand.
listening to you guys talk.
Hi, right hand. How you doing?
I love PJ's stories.
Yeah, aren't they great?
Oh, call me up. I'll tell you some more. Anyway, I just like to say I appreciate the mayor giving me this opportunity. It's an honor and a privilege to work for her. She can be a tough person.
Oh, really? Okay.
She can be, but I would say she's fair, and she's very kind. And she's always said, you know, it doesn't cost you anything to be kind. And she has, the one thing that's very cool about the mayor is I can call her up at any time if I need help on something.
Oh, wow.
She will just drop whatever she's doing, and she's got a lot of good advice because she knows a lot of stuff. And it's just very nice to have that relationship with her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she kind of sets the standard for everybody in the city. And I appreciate her. And I'll say this too. I appreciate, you know, Rusty York. He set the standard for police chiefs, I believe. But he took me under his wing, taught me a lot. But it goes back to all the chiefs that I've worked for. They've all been awesome people. And what I'd like to is that every chief is built on the last chiefs, whatever they left, and it's been good. You know, Neil Moore started us with the neighborhoods, get us into the neighborhoods, getting the neighborhood presidents, you know, established, getting
The relationship,
nice
with the partnerships.
Yes, and then Dan Hannaford kind of built on that, and then Rusty came in and just blew it out of the water with starting the quadrant system, because it allows us now to, you know, we still the quadrant system where we're not changing it, because it allows us to basically every quadrant's like a small police department, and it allows us to get police service to the people exactly where they need it. Because you got somebody there looking at crime 24 hours a day, which is their command, and making sure those officers get into those areas where we're having the problems.
Are you talking about the second floor with the command center where the...
Oh, no.
That's really cool.
Yeah, no, that would,
I want to go
that
up
would
there
be like
again.
for, you know, we would activate that during floods or something like that.
Well, I can remember when you opened it up, and then we had that shooting on Westgate.
Oh, you're talking about the one
In the DB.
Yeah, that'll see.
That is so cool. I want to get up there.
Yeah, that's the brain. So that's why we have a 97% clearance rate, because you got all those detectives working in the same room with the latest technology. And I can guarantee this: if somebody kills somebody in Fort Wayne, they're probably going to get caught within 24 hours.
It's unbelievable, but it
Yeah.
is the system that I'm going to have to give credit to Captain Tim Hughes here. He went in with the design.
He did.
He said, we're going to work on teams.
Yes.
And I mean, you can get burnout, although people like Brian Martin officers like Brian Martin are still on
They're
there.
still going.
Just still going.
Well, we got a lot of young blood in there. You got
Well, the McDonald's, they've been there for
you got the McDonald brothers. You got you know, Deputy Chief Shane Lee, who by trade is an attorney.
Right.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah. And, you know, he's a wealth of knowledge. I mean, I really rely on him, but that 97% clearance rate is because of those people that work there.
Oh, yeah.
I think
And-
the sharing of information,
Yep.
it didn't, 10 years ago, that didn't happen.
It didn't happen. Plus, you know, the relationship we have with the prosecutor's office, you know, they have the ability to say, hey, you know, we need this and this and this, and our detectives are pretty responsive. And, but I know I'm rambling, but listen, I just want to close it out by saying I appreciate every member of this agency. You guys and gals are the people who make this thing work every day. It's just an honor and a privilege to serve you. And if there's anything you need from me, you know where to find me. Y'all probably have my phone number
That's
from
true.
over the years. I don't know how many thousands of people have my phone number.
You must spend the night like,
Yeah, so I'm just very thankful, and I know it's hard for the officers out there. Policing's hard now,
it is. It is. It's very dangerous.
and I would say
In my song, of course, I refer
Yeah.
to that.
I would
my
say
song I wrote.
I would say thank you to everybody, and if you ever need anything, just call me, and we'll get through this together. And
Well, it's funny that you said you keep bringing up Rusty York, who's I still think on the Board of Safety.
he is.
That because Kevin Corey said Chief Rusty set the standard for me, but PJ will set another standard of leadership. I mean, he's just another accolade. I can't do anything about it. They were pouring in that day.
Yeah, well, you know, I guess I don't take it too.
You just enjoy it. You know what I mean? You just enjoy what you do,
I
and it
enjoy what I
shows.
do, but you know, every chief got a shelf life. There's going to come that day when they say, PJ, time to go.
No.
It's like being a football coach.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, and I'll feel bad for about an hour.
That might, you know what? That might be the
Well-
secret. Just feel bad for an hour
Yeah.
and get over it.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, just an hour. And
Yeah.
so, what about you, Mike? You want a last word?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell a story that I think is just indicative, just as so many of these stories have been. I mean, the thing about the deer. Most people would have called animal control and say, hey, can you take care of this?
Oh,
Or the highway department, get the carcass out of here. You thought creatively, you could see how you made a win-win out of this. And I think that's really what people are saying about you as an officer over 40 years, that you come up with creative solutions that try to make it best for everybody.
I think.
And I know after the George Floyd protests, when we were notified that we were going to have protests outside Karen Richards' house on a Sunday afternoon,
Right.
that I think there were Karen and me and another
Yep,
deputy,
we were all over there.
Posey, and you, and we stood out there and answered questions
Yep.
as best we could for like 2.5 hours in front of 100 people that were not really interested in hearing answers.
And it was hot that day.
And it was hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, that was Sunday afternoon. You didn't have to work that day, but
Right.
you do the right things at the right times.
Yeah, he's
And-
been always available. I'm sure even on his so-called day off. Do you ever take a vacation?
I haven't for a long time. You know what? It's kind of like, you know what? Cruise ships, I used to like to get on them.
Really?
I think they're filthy now. I mean,
Take that out.
they've gotten so outrageously big, and it's just And so like, I see hotel rooms. I know all the nastiness that goes on in those. I don't want to stay in a hotel room anywhere. I like staying in my own germs. Yeah.
To be said for that.
Yeah.
But I just think that the community is very lucky to have you as the
Well,
chief.
thank you.
When I heard the news, I was very happy because I know the kind of work that you'll do and the kind of caring that you will provide for your officers, protect them, take care of them when they do things bad. But hold them to a high standard, and I think that's all we can ask as a community from our police. And we do so many good things, and so many things that the Fort Wayne Police Department is on the upper echelon of, and being creative and doing important things for the community. When we went through the Mayor's Commission on Reform and Racial Injustice, it was amazing how many things the Fort Wayne Police Department is already doing that to meet those national recommendations or standards. And I think your kind of leadership will be an inspiration to your officers, but also to the community. So thank you. I know you've only been on the job now, what, 5 days?
Yeah, 5 days. But I will say this too. It's nice being able to call you up if I need something. I appreciate that. I don't think anybody really realizes, how hard the Allen County prosecutor has to work. They may complain about, oh, that dude got off so easy or whatever, but the system's overloaded. And they're doing the best they can right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, the people who really need it, they're getting put away where they can't harm anybody.
Right.
And the prosecutor's office is doing an awesome job there. But sometimes pleas have to be made. And people may not like it, but that's the way it has to be. That's the way it works.
But I mean, Chief, even when they take a plea, it doesn't mean they're not going to prison.
No.
And my complaint is that the prisons are inhumane. So.
But you got to look too. So like sometimes witnesses aren't the best, and the prosecutors dealt a losing hand. Please help them.
Yeah. No, and
we saw that last week at the murder trial.
Mm-hmm. So. And some witnesses are legitimately scared.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not just a desire not to help. It's
that's a whole
some
nother
reasonable
thing we need
fear.
to talk about is witness protection, because I've had a couple of recent phone calls about people who have been, on the stand, and then they're targets. So, but I'll tell you.
We'll work on it.
Okay.
We'll work on it.
We're going to work on that.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So we could be talking for hours. In fact, the chief is really, some of the stories we couldn't put on air. Maybe we'll get a book out later. But anyway, it's been a great time with our new police chief, P.J. Smith. And we want to thank him a lot for coming on here. You can see this and everything else we create on www.theprobablecause.com. I actually had to say that one right. Maybe I'm getting tired. You can also listen on Apple and Spotify if you want to just be in your car, which I'm sure people are going to want to listen to this. We also have a Facebook page where all of our podcasts go, which is called, oddly enough, The Probable Cause. So anyway, for now, we say goodbye.
Thank you.
This episode is filmed and edited by Frosty Pictures. The Probable Cause is produced by Maumee Media.
Worried when I crossed the Michigan line, a cop from Steuben County waiting on I-69. A headlamp went out while he pulled me over. Charged me with possession after I rolled down the window. Now that's skunk. Indians a trip when it comes to weed. It's like who doesn't smoke or use gummies? Your grandpa, your brother, your rich friend from school? Hell, throw in the whole courthouse and my attorney too. It's time those assholes change these stupid laws. It ain't worth the paper for a probable cause. Sitting on a bar stool in my usual place, this guy next to me said he was looking for some cocaine. Hell, I just sold him an 8-ball with a little piece off for me. But my buyer was a cop? Should've known he was a creep. So I'm a dealer, right? You gotta be kidding. It's a rich man's drug. I just take it cause I'm injured. 8 years in Westville with a monkey on my back. There's more drugs in here than you can shake a shank at. One dirty drug test, man, this system's flawed. Undercover screwed me in my probable cause. Street crimes never did me no favors. I'm hooked on Fetty. I'm a junkie, not a felon. Told that son of a bitch on the way to lockup. I can't seem to shake it. I need help, not mocking. What do you want from someone who's been through the system? Drugs all through the house before mom and dad went to prison. Throw me in jail and give me a fine? Someday I'll be dead and away from your kind. Now I'm at the courthouse in front of a judge. Can't say my public defender cares for me much. Crimes are committed on both sides of the law. God help me now with this probable cause. C shift never gets old. Anything can happen when you're out on patrol. You think I'm just eating donuts, man? Give me a break. Nothing on this job is a piece of cake. Lights and sirens activated, this knucklehead wants to chase. Baby mama at the scene just spit in my face. Wife's worried that someday I won't be pulling up at all. You'll read about my killer in a probable call. Man. She went through my phone and she seen my text. I told her forget it. It was just my ex. She took a swing and knocked me flat. Man, I went wild and hit her back. Judge slapped me with a no contact order. Now she's got the kids and she's staying with her mother. So she started it all and I have to take the fall. You can read my whole story in the probable when I was young. Caught a case for dealing and did my time. Yeah, I got a record, but I was doing fine. Running my own business on the southeast side. Yeah, I got a gun. I kept it on hand. Told the cop my reason, thought he'd understand. In this neighborhood, you need some protection. Attorney thought I could get just community corrections, but the judge decided to send me to prison. Can't get ahead no matter how hard I try. Read the probable cause, it'll make you
Whispers
cry.
and rumors that don't get reported. Stories I write that are often distorted. Got my notebook and pen, and I'm ready to listen. Tell me the truth, I'll consider your position. I've seen killers with eyes so cold and dead, and others go to prison because of what someone said, rotting away for the rest of their lives, leaving a hole here on the outside. Things are sad here on earth, and it's no wonder why, when you consider the sociopaths who remain in charge. It's me who sees the system for all its flaws, and I usually start with the probable cause. My right hand is reading the probable cause.